Well, later that afternoon, we decided we'd slip into this other stand in an area we call the swamp. Kyle was going to hunt. I was going to film him. We had this really nice access walking all the way up this creek. Didn't have to worry about ground scent. The wind was set up perfect, blowing our scent back across the creek. And we get in the tree, and it's Asylum Week. I mean, these deer are still going crazy. We're going to pick up those black racks and see what happens.
As you'll probably see on video, I missed a big 5.5-year-old buck this morning because of hitting his stick. And we also rattled in 9 other bucks along with him. So we'll see what happens. We're going to try some rattling and grunting again tonight. Hope we bring in a big one.
And all of a sudden Kyle goes, "Buck, buck, buck, right here, shooter, shooter." I get the camera turned around and get on him, and Kyle's already at full draw, just waiting for an opportunity. And he's coming down the trail, and we're kind of having to age him on the fly and figure out if he is a shooter. You know, obviously we look down, we can see that this buck has great mass. He's got a great frame to him. He's got a beautiful chocolate forehead, and his face is just real blocky and real square. So instantly, you know, we're thinking it's at least a 5.5-year-old buck. We're going to go ahead and take him. He comes down the trail. I get the camera on him. I'm fighting the sun a little bit. I look down. Kyle's already at full draw, and he's just waiting for an opportunity.
That is a giant, beautiful. That happens. That was unbelievable.
No, I got to hand it to Kyle. After missing that buck in the morning, he was kind of down in the dumps. But to come back and then execute a perfect frontal heart shot like that, it was a quick, clean kill, and I really got to hand it to him. I mean, it takes a lot of confidence and a lot of skill to make a shot like that count.
This morning, me and Colton were in the center of a big 120-acre block of timber. We were doing a lot of rattling and grunting with the black rack and the extinguisher, and it was a wild morning. We rattled in 10 different bucks, and I actually ended up missing a buck at 30 yards because of a little twig. And we decided to come in here to our swamp stand this afternoon. I decided to grunt and do some bleeding with the extinguisher, and then I went right into a rattling sequence with the black racks. I turned around and this guy was standing there 25 yards away. Just came out of nowhere, right around the side of the big ridge. And he ended up coming into 10 yards. I put an absolutely perfect shot on him. He made it 60 yards, and here he is.
Clearly this week, the key was calling. Aggressive calling, and staying persistent until we found the buck that we were after. You just got to stay in the grind and just keep rattling and keep calling until you finally pull in that buck that you're willing to take.
The thing that really struck me with Kyle's strategy for rattling was that he set that rattling up with verbal communication. He painted the picture that there was a hot estrus doe and frustrated bucks following her around. And the way he did it was by making a doe estrus bleat. Now I got my call set up to the doe setting, and I'll do a couple of those estrus bleats for you here. You'll notice the inflection, that creates emotion that doe is hot. Then he followed it up with the buck grunts, and you just slide your call down to the buck. And it's short buck grunts. He's walking around, he's tending that doe, he's frustrated and lays out those longer, frustrating grunts. And it sounds something like this. So it's short grunts mixed with long, frustrating, screaming grunts. And that calling sequence created the illusion and set up that aggressive rattling that brought that buck right in.
Want to experience the same results you just witnessed? Use what the Deer Society experts use. The Extinguisher Deer Call and Black Rack Rattling System are the highest rated deer communication systems of all time, and less than 1% of deer hunters will have the opportunity to buy one this season. Get yours today at thedeersociety.com. Order now.